All right, we're still talking entertainment and movies with Kevin McCarthy, who's back with us now to talk about an event that we talked about yesterday and you went to last night, so you're bringing us up to speed on what happened.
I have to say, so I've always been proud to live in the D.C. area, but last night I was so proud. I mean, the show that took place at the Capital One Arena last night, it's called the New York State of Mind Tour. This is the new tour that's happening right now with Wu-Tang and Nas and De La Soul. But the way the D.C. crowd operated last night, it was such a vibe. The energy in that room was amazing. I took some photos last night from the show. It was mind-blowing because Nas did a phenomenal set. The way they did this, De La Soul opened the show, and obviously we know that David from De La Soul had passed in February. So Talib Kweli stepped out and actually filled in for a bit of that. They did a Talib song as well. Talib was wearing a Washington Nationals hat.
Of course he was.
It was a really cool thing. But what the cool part about it was is that Wu-Tang and Nas, they did the set together. So like RZA would come out at the beginning, he would introduce all the members of the Wu-Tang, except for Method Man. Method Man came out later in the show, which was still awesome. And then they would do like 6 or 7 songs, and then Nas would come out, do his 6 or 7 songs, and then Wu-Tang would come back on.
What?
And you're getting, and the way Nas did it, I mean, he went back to Illmatic, he did stuff from It Was Written, he was doing Street Dreams, he was doing all his hits, he had King's Disease 3, one of the best hip-hop shows I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot. I know Joe's been to a lot in his lifetime, and I showed Joe the video of Triumph.
I lost my mind.
We watched Triumph right here in the office, and it was amazing. So the other day, as you know, RZA got on the Zoom with Joe and I to talk about the upcoming tour. This particular part of the interview is actually more about the anniversary of 36 Chambers. The album came out 30 years ago. It's a masterpiece of an album, and we talked about that and the legacy, but also his thoughts on Nas, who's released 6 albums in the last 5 years that I would consider classics. Here's RZA and I, part 2 for the Wu-Tang Clan. You're out on the road 30 years later performing these songs for audiences. And over time, music, obviously the music stays the same, but the way we interpret it changes because as we get older, we go through life experiences and those songs hit differently. So I'm wondering for you, when you're performing these songs 30 plus years later, how different they feel to you, what meanings have changed? Like, are there songs that have taken on different meanings to you as an artist as you go through these years?
That's an interesting question. Kevin, I think that, personally, I think 36 Chambers was like the capturing of youth, right? The capturing of young minds and young experiences, growing up in, urban communities, American communities, the rebellious, bring the ruckus, you know what I mean? Be honest, the weed smoking vibe of Method Man. So the youth energy, I think, is always healthy no matter what year you're in your life. And so when I get a chance to get on stage and perform these songs, I actually feel re-energized with youthful energy.
You know, I was talking to a friend of mine recently about hip-hop and kind of where we are right now. I know we're in the 50th anniversary, but last year, 2022, I think was one of the greatest years for hip-hop I've ever seen. And a lot of that, with Kendrick and Denzel Curry, the Ab Soul record, the Pusha T album was amazing. But I got to bring up Nas for a second. Obviously, you're on tour with Nas. He's coming to D.C. 6 albums now with Hit Boy. All of them are phenomenal. King's Disease 3 might be my favorite album of his since Illmatic. I thought Magic 3 was brilliant. That Blue Bentley track, that production with Hit Boy is unbelievable. I'm just curious your perspective on seeing Nas do this at this point in his career.
I see creative freedom. I think it's inspirational because sometimes we get clogged up and we start doubting with art. You know what I mean? You doubt yourself, you doubt where you should be, you try to compete with that which ain't you. Like some of the rappers of my generation want to try to compete with younger rappers or try to shun the younger rappers for what they're doing. But you can't shun them because that's their formula, that's their experience. What Nas is doing is kind of like, to me, what a painter would do, like Van Gogh. He just painted. He didn't know he was going to sell it or not. He had the talent, he had the inspiration, and so he painted. And to me, Nas is painting, and he's recording he recorded his legacy, of course, in the '90s, and he's recording his legacy now.
All right, big thank you to RZA. That interview took place on Monday as he was on his way to D.C. I ran into some Fox 5 fans last night. One of the fans I ran into was like, I saw you and Joe on the air talking to RZA. So we were really excited about that. So stay tuned, Fox 5 DC, for more information. And yeah, thank you guys for letting me share that. It was an amazing show. If you're a hip-hop fan, it celebrated hip-hop in probably the best way I've seen in a long time.
Kevin got the video of Triumph, and that's the
Inspector.
It's all 9 on stage.
Inspector Deck, RZA, You God. I mean, obviously RZA, the Jizza.
Listen, I'm
Nas came out.
They're geeking out.
Came out.
But I gotta tell you this,
That's right.
DMV Zone, we're coming back. Let the guys keep having their fun. It's okay.
Amazing show. Amazing.